Yo, what is up, guys? It's looking like some of you guys actually need my help with some of these builds. We're going to be doing Assassination Rogue this time. I have the perfect build for Season 1 going into midnight. You guys need to be prepared. I'm going to make this pretty quick, but also extremely valuable. What I mean to say is I've done the testing. I've done the testing with Verse Mastery. I've done the testing with Haste Verse. It is going to be a Haste Verse meta for Assassination Rogue. So we'll go ahead and just jump straight into it. Now, when it comes to the left side, guys, this is kind of tricky. This is the most effective and powerful build I can come up with. I tried. It's really, really tough to pass up things like Soothing Darkness, although that is nerfed to 15% in PvP. So that is nerfed by 50%. So that's not that great. This is the part that hurts. Not being able to take subterfuge is almost like stripping a piece of very valuable armor off of the rogue. This allows for multiple silenced groats. It's almost too good to pass up, and I'm probably going to end up picking it up again. I want to let you guys know on this left side, there's a reason for playing deeper stratagem. It synergizes. I'll go over it in just a second, but it's very unfortunate. I'm trying to find a way to squeeze in this second vanish and subterfuge, but we just absolutely need these ones right now because of our damage profile. Okay, so I'm gonna go over that damage profile with you. We're not rotten swapping, guys. The increased bleed damage is not that great. This is the new build. Blizzard even said it on Blue Post and Tuning. They want us to be going into Envenom and pooling. Okay, so I want to let you guys know Assassination Rogue, at first I thought it needed a tremendous amount of work, but it's actually starting to line up kind of nice now. That's why it's important for you guys to watch these videos. I did get shadow banned, by the way, guys. It's not going to hurt my feelings if it only shows 50 people on this. I just reset the entire algorithm on accident by getting some of my anime videos twisted and shit. So if you do see this, like and subscribe. It would be very helpful because it kind of, the algorithm, I'm kind of stuck in the abyss right now. So but you need to know this is a perfect build right here, guys. On the right side, before we go into hero talent trees, the first and foremost that's going to base our decision on our builds, guys, moving forward is our superhero talents, right? What are these synergizing with, right? So Blizzard put these in for us to use, right? Can we take them all off and go full throttle with this? Yes, it could be possible, but I wouldn't play with it right now. I would stick to the guns of this. You're going to get an extra 20% on nature and bleed damage. More importantly, rank 3 allows King Bane to it's almost like a feral frenzy. And it's very helpful too if you're out of energy. You can King's Bane, it'll send your combo points all the way up to the top, which is why Forced Induction and Supercharger becomes more valuable, because you've got Sanguine Stratagem and Deeper Stratagem. You've got almost 7-8 combo points. With the Supercharger, you're almost at 10 combo points. And what that means is you have to have 2 of them, because when you dump your second Envenom, that Envenom is going to hit hard, okay, because of this ability right here, Rapid Injection. So every time you Envenom, that next Envenom is going to do a lot more damage. And this is very important right here, guys. Poisoner's Drive. Do not skip this talent. Don't get baited by the extra damage. You're going to regret it a minute or 2 later. Pick the extra combo point in Venom. What this allows you to do, it's very important, this part, guys. What this allows you to do is it synergizes with Deeper Stratagem and Sanguine and the Superchargers, and also Implaceable. The reason why is because every time you Envenom into an Envenom, it changes the aspect ratio of your combo points generating, and you're gonna get spikes through crit or whatnot, but it's gonna level it in a way to where it's like, okay, so now when you end, that second Envenom is gonna restore a combo point or 2. So instead of being back to 1, you'll be at 3. So, and if you crit, you'll automatically be at 5. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. That's how you chain Envenoms. You can go into 5, into 7, into 5, into 5. That's how you get the job done. You don't want to burn through your Thistle Teas too much, but I'll explain that part in just a second as well. But that's the synergy, guys. This is the build. It's the strongest build I could come up with. I don't care who else is showing you guys. This is the one. This is the build. We're not running this side, guys, because we're not relying on our rotten swaps. We do have Crimson Tempest to do that, but it's single target damage. We're getting 150k in Venoms. That's 2 Chaos Bolts worth of damage, guys, with some of these Envenoms. Okay, and I'm not even talking about Deathmark. Okay, so Assassination Rogue. Now, don't get me wrong. When you energy starve, you starve. And that's a big weakness of Assassination. I think they did nerf the energy regen on multiple targets a little bit too much. They could have gave us one more energy regen on those. But at the same time, you're getting a lot of energy regen back from your back-to-back Envenoms, making it even more crucial and more important. So guys, I would say these other builds are flexible if it wasn't for that fact. Our energy regen, we get 20% to 40%, up to 80% regen if you can land 3 or 4 Envenoms. And what that does is it allows us not to energy starve and not to burn through Thistle Teas, which is very important for lasting the entire match. So what I mean to say, and the haste verse is also very important, guys. Okay, we are running haste verse with a splash of crit or mastery. It's not going to be straight verse mastery, or you guys are going to suffer because you're going to have no energy the entire game. Haste verse is the way it's got to be with the energy regen from the Envenom pooling. It does work. It does work. I'm going to show you a nice burst rotation here in just a minute. The only thing you guys can flex on, and tell me in the comments which one you're siding with, is the hero talent trees. I got to tell you guys, Fatebound is great, but Deathstalker is starting to feel not too bad for me. People will complain and say, well, yeah, you got to commit to one target. But I'll tell you what, those empowered Envenoms, 30% additional damage on your Envenoms on that last Deathstalker's mark is very juicy, guys. Very juicy, because it's going to hit when you're getting that 30% damage buff on the right side. This is what I mean by synergy, right? Make sure you do not take Symbolic Victory. It does go down to 10%. It goes down to 10%. It's still helpful, but this 30% nature damage sticks after a death mark, and it's for 30 seconds. That's very effective. The reason why, guys, is it's very synergistic with rank 2 of Implaceable. Your nature and bleed damage is increased by 20%. Very powerful synergies, guys, with Deathstalker. I wouldn't sleep on Deathstalker if I were you just yet. Okay, we've been hating Deathstalker for the entire War Within. It might bite back a little bit, because I'm telling you right now, it's easy to apply Deathstalker marks. You're gonna apply them passively, which is very helpful. It's not like, it wasn't like that before. And also you're gonna be able to do damage. It's only 5%, but you're gonna be able to do damage on everybody. And then of course, things like, reducing your shadow step, helpful things like, evasion reduces magical damage as well by 15, and cloak. So if you're in a really hardcore pinch and a warrior's on you, you can cloak to reduce damage by 20% on top of your feint, which will be another 20%, and even 55 or 60 if you're stunned, which means you will survive. Okay, so there's good synergies here. People like Fatebound because it's flat damage increases, but flat damage increases means nothing if you're not using it on, if it's not 10 to 20% at the right, flipping the coins at the right time for the Envenoms. But luckily with this build, Fatebound, casting 5 or 6 combo points allows you to get that extra damage, but there's a little bit more ramp. This one's going to start hitting hard, period. It does buff your Mutilate, and it does give you plague damage every time you pop a Deathstalker's mark. So you've got a lot of juice on both sides, and I'm telling you right now, this one is the Envenom side. This one's the kind of bleed, and it's a tricky choice, guys. You're gonna have to help me pick that one, because right now I was in for Fatebound, but lately I've been starting to go for Deathstalker. Okay, but one thing I am sure of, guys, is lock this build in. We do want Poison Bomb, guys. Poison Bomb is a staple for Assassination Rogue. I'd pick it no matter what, but we do want this. It does good damage, and it busts down pretty good. Caustic Splatter on paper looks like it's trash, guys, but it's not. That is actually in my top 5 damage single target because it looks like it's just, you know, bad AoE splash, but it's actually splashing a lot. It's splashing so much to the point where it's actually significant, even single target damage. Okay, so this is the build. If you want to experiment a little bit, it's not going to be the play. It's tempting, guys, but trust me. These on the tree vines, these ones die out right here because it's rupture damage increased by 20% and garrote damage increased by 20%. That garrote generating 2 additional combo points from stealth is absolutely more mandatory than it's ever been, especially without subterfuge. It's really tough to not take subterfuge, guys. I feel naked without my triple garrotes. So we need to really, you know, kind of see what's going on here a little bit, but this build is just too powerful. It's too powerful. You're picking defense or offense most of the time, guys. Because we have a healer, we're going to need to take offense. Otherwise, the defense will get ran through because you have no offense, right? So I'd rather have full offense and at least some defense than all defense and no power, right? So we got to dump everything into a Venom. All right, you guys. So now I'm just going to show you the burst rotation, and I'll catch you in a bit. So the last big piece of advice I want to give you guys for Assassination Rogue is the combo points. This cannot be overlooked. So as you get more experienced, you're going to feel out. You have to feel out these 7 combo points and know exactly how they interact. You need to know exactly what happens if you have 2 combo points, if you have 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, and how each ability interacts with that. This is very important, guys. When you mutilate anything it gets to at 5, you need to send it. Don't get baited into mutilating for the extra 2 or 3 because you're going to overcap and starve yourself. So always send it. You want to get to 5, and the beauty of this build, guys, is that if you're at 4 and you press it again, now it's worth it for the last 3 because you're getting the last 3 at one chance, or you're getting at least 2. You're not going to overlap it, guys, right? So rule of thumb is if you're at 4, you can mutilate for a max. If you're at 3, you can mutilate for a max. If you're at 5, I would not do another mutilate. I would send the Envenom to start proccing the extra Envenoms. The other big thing I want to say, guys, is because of these talents right here, these synergized talents as well as the builds, every time you Envenom after that second Envenom, 1 mutilate should net you 5 combo points at the very least. So you can mutilate into 5, and it's looking really juicy, into 7s, into 3 into 7s, into 2 into 7s. So that's how it's going to be, okay, you guys? Make sure you're aware of your combo point play, okay? And that should do it. Pretty solid build, pretty solid spec. I'm sure some more damage numbers or tuning in the up department and the spec will actually be extremely powerful, especially if it gets a little bit more energy regen from here and there, but the playstyle does allow you to get energy regen back. You just have to adjust the mindset. Okay, so Assassination Rogue is looking juicy. I'll see you guys in a bit. So when it comes to bursting,
I need to target something.
You want to make sure that you cast an Envenom every time before you King's Bane. Okay, because the King's Bane is going to get you a free Envenom, and it's going to hit hard. Okay, because it's going to supercharge a point too. So we're going to open with a Garrote into a Rupture. Okay, we're going to use our shift to get 5 on the kidney. We're going to Death Mark. We're going to send our King's Bane. Send our first Envenom. Send our second, which should be massive if it crit. So that second one was 80k non-crit. 134k crit, guys. Shift to get to 6. 50k. 6. 40k. And finally, one more 50k. But that was 136k in Venom, guys, and this is for Fleet Bound. Okay, that 136k in Venom, I'm sure it could be a little higher. It could go to probably 150. That's 2 Chaos Bolts worth of damage, guys. So Assassination Rogue is hitting pretty hard. Not to mention with the back-to-back Envenoms and the increased application of poisons and all that other stuff. Okay. So those are pretty strong Envenoms. And then, of course, I'll show you Deathstalker as well. Deathstalker's mark.